32. But anyway, guys, here we go. 6 seconds until we begin. We're gonna get started here, open up our maps, and away we go!
Hold on to your point.
Taking a look at what's going on here with the splits as we're going to open up here. No crossplay from either team as of yet. Both Guardians look like they're going to be heading to the middle point. No surprises there. Rangers from both teams. Just virtually a mirror split here that we're going to be having. Rangers from both teams going to those side points. We have 2 members from the blue team, 3 members from the red team heading up around the back. We could have a collision rather, go on over there now. As well as Lack of Luck and Kaya are going to try to keep, however, not Lack of Luck is a little bit delayed to get on here. It's actually getting feared off quite a bit. So we almost had PC get a complete free cap. Zini over here jumping across the threshold. Tries to get on Antares. Does a pretty darn nice job of it here now as he tries to take him out here now. Antares is already under heavy pressure here, almost completely from Genie here now. They're going to be others jumping into this now. We did have Misha Tin Hat go down. They're going to be trying to get her up, porting away now, using the deception now. Almost have her up, but there's so much AoE damage. As you guys can see, these particle effects just everywhere. They did manage to get Misha back up here now. No one else, actually, Antares just went down here now. We are going to be having Shad try to move in to get him back up. Here we had some knockbacks go off as well. No resurrection moves have gone off as of yet, and blue team not even really going for the stomp, as we do have Commoner Barry over here under the statue, currently down. Antares taken down at the same time because Shad was so focused here in middle, and it does look like they are going to take this point. They did unfortunately lose their close point here now. Red team will be controlling both side points. They don't really have any clear defense on those points now, and Invictus Nyquist, for whatever reason, is extremely close to death there. I believe he actually had to 1v1 to get that point. But back over here now, almost all members of Shad have fallen back here to the henge point here. They're going to be trying to take out Curve in just a moment here. Is under some heavy pressure. The question is, how long can Curve hang on for dear life here as we try to jump onto one of our players' point of views. He is unfortunately going to get taken down here pretty quickly. At the same time, here comes poor Commoners moving into the middle with a force to be reckoned with here now. We do have Lack of Luck working his way, trying to hold on to this for dear life now, using his cooldowns as fast as he can. He does have that Sanctuary, which he is going to pull out now. Has stability for a few more seconds, but the Caboons was just corrupted, and he just absolutely gets destroyed by members of PC coming into this now. Going to be trying to stop him out. Lack of Luck gets taken down. Unfortunately for him, his team Shad came in a little bit too late here now, and they're now going to have to fight on middle without any Guardian. We are going to jump onto Genie's point. Actually, no, Genie's not even here, so we're not going to jump onto him. We're going to go rather onto Rozok's point of view here now, who's running pretty much the same exact build here now. As we jump onto middle here now, that AoE stun coming in there now, hitting up Kaya, as well as other members of the blue team now. We also have Antares now, taking a lot of damage here. Oh, and those conditions rolling off onto just everyone. These mid-fights are absolutely crazy. We're actually going to have to jump into the overview so we can see a little bit better. Commoner Barry was just taken down, as well as Antares. The team fight from Shad is just commendable here now, as this is the second time now, even with a disadvantage here now, they have come back into this and won a middle fight here. Shad Rongor is going to be coming in now to try and take out Rozok. We had Antares and Commoner Barry, definitely one of the star players here, being Genie, rather, as he came into that middle fight with those AoE stunts and with that AoE longbow, just absolutely destroying everything into that fight there and really flipping it around for his team. But it does look like blue team is now going to be mobilizing to take down their chieftain, to push themselves ahead a little bit. We just had a lead change there now, as blue team Shad has now taken the lead. 25 points as well have just been added to their score as they took down their boss. 150 points now. They're still 350 points away, obviously, but they are moving towards a healthy lead now. We're holding 2 capture points. Red team, rather, as well. Looks like they're going to be moving in for Spawn here in just a moment here now to try and take him out. Rozok around, as well as the others, are mobilizing. Possibly going to head to mid in just a second now. But the issue PC is having... The issue PC has now, because they've spent so much time mobilizing again, is blue team can pretty much just scout out where they're going. We do have this Ranger Curve, who is, oh, that was a really weird circle. He's going to make his way over here to the henge point now, but if they know this is coming, they're even going to spread, this is actually really smart play here from Shad. They're going to spread themselves out now, as to not get killed too much by any heavy AoE or whatnot that could come in from PC. Now that it's been engaged, they're going to work their way in here now. Here comes Shad. However, they did still take a pretty hefty amount of damage. They managed to take down Nyquist, but Misha Tin Hat is pretty low here. She more than likely will get taken down too. Invictus was already knocked out, so they need to be careful if Misha goes down to come in here. And they're out of nowhere. Rozok just comes in with that stomp there, or with a stun rather, to take Misha out. It was no trouble to get her back up though. and Shad looks like they're just going to take out and really hold on to this. Again, unfortunately, though, because they had to devote so much of this middle fight to hold it pretty consistently for them, sacrifice their close point once more, and Curve did manage to sneak in there to take it once more. Now, the question is, has PC learned their lesson from the last game where they're going to not just have Curve there because they know that Shad is going to come in here in just a moment with almost the full force of their team to take it out here. We did have Razak come back up there with the use of the Spirit Rangers from Curve there. He almost lost the cap, but he did manage to get his teammate back up, so they have now put more pressure on this. It is going to take Shad a longer time to get this back here now, and it actually looks like, as we can see over here on the beach, just to go over there real quick, we have two other members of PC that are going to be coming over here in just a minute as well. We do have Raw getting pretty low here now, is on the defensive, still ticking regen pretty heavily though, as you can see here, 407 health per second is going to be given back to him, obviously, unless he's poisoned, in which case that will not be the case. But back here, we can just see these numbers coming in here, these particle effects everywhere. Zinjin has taken Razak down here. We're going to switch over to Rungor's point of view as he tries to get the stomp off. We also just had a Time War come off here now, which is going to speed up the pace of this fight exponentially for Shad here now, with Misha Tinhat popping that now. It looks like they're going to get this point back. Red team, unfortunately, did lose almost the entirety of their force coming into this now, and won't be able to mobilize once more for quite a few seconds to push into middle if they would like to do that.
Blue team takes a capture point.
And as we jump back over here, we do have more members of the red team spawning, and just now coming out of the gates here. We are going to have a bit of a peaceful moment. We'll wait for everything to go, so we'll just open up the map for the time being. Once again, and now this is sort again. I just want to sort of iterate this. This is somewhat of an issue here that I'm seeing with PC, is they're taking, because, and I'm not sure if this is because Shad is doing so well or because of PC just making a mistake through this, and I think they could be shadow refuging now. They are going to shadow refuge. But anyway, just going back to what I said, they take so long to move to places, either because they don't have the numbers and they have to wait for respawns, or otherwise, that Shad can sort of just predict their actions. Even that play right there with the shadow refuge, it got scouted out because they took far too long to get that rolling. Ginny over there, I'm sorry, apologies if I don't know how to pronounce his name correctly, but he was able to scout that out there now, and they are going to respond appropriately. They might get some people down here, but Barry already is falling behind here now. And then Nyquist as well was taken down, unfortunately. So it looks like Shad is once more going to be holding on to this point now as we take a look into this little bit of fight that we have going on here. We do have Invictus Nyquist down at the moment. Commoner Barry's going to be going in for a resurrection now, and we'll get it off successfully here now. We also have Razak Ral, as we're going to jump over to his point of view here really quick to see what he's doing here. We have Genie finally down here as they're going to be trying to move in on him. Misha Tinhat as well. So, oh my goodness, I might have changed my mind here now. We might have a team fight going in red favor here now as more members of Shad are being taken down here. Razak Ral rather, gonna come in here now and take out Misha Tinhat. We also have Antares here getting somewhat low, but he's still holding on quite nicely. Two members of Shad are still on the quarry point, but it was just decap now. PC needs to move quickly, however, because this is extremely close to blue team's spawn point, as most of you already know here, so they need to move quickly, take out as many members of Shad as they possibly can to get this point back. Needless to say, despite Shad's pretty decisive team fighting up to this point at least, we do have a pretty close game on our hands here. 316 points to 390 points in favor of Shad at the moment. However, Red Team PC is the only one with capture points, so they are going to slowly start making their way back until Shad or another team, until Shad can get some capture points back for themselves. But anyway, as this fight escalates itself once more, Razak Ral and Genie just throwing those AoE stuns anywhere and everywhere they can. As we look onto Genie's point of view, Invictus Nyquist now, seems to be the target for Genie here now. We also have Antares down, but they just got him back up here. This is a really crazy AoE spam that we have going on over here. Back at the middle fight, there is some action going on there as well. The two Rangers are duking it out between themselves. They're going to be trying to get control of that. And again, we'll check back on that. And actually, this could be wrapping up soon, so we're just going to stay here. The two of them sort of just auto-attacking back at each other. A war of attrition, as it would seem here. Curve, however, seems to be losing that war now, as he is getting low. The heal for Shad Rungor is going to be coming up in just a second, and it is looking like the blue team will reclaim that point for themselves. But anyway, going back over here to the henge point, we are having Razak Ral getting down here in just a second. Misha Tinhat, Lack of Luck, and Genie are going to take this one back. Misha Tinhat getting extremely low there, unfortunately. But they did manage to get that point back now, and they are going to be getting that, moving themselves closer to dominant victory in this round. Chieftain might be the next choice for Shad here now to push themselves just a little bit closer to that victory. Red team is starting to come out of spawns once more, as they were unfortunately wiped over there. But we do have Nyquist, as we take a look at him here, working his way over here. Depending on how fast blue team is killing this Chieftain, and I think they are killing it a little bit too quickly, Nyquist tried to make his way over there, and unfortunately was not able to snipe that. It almost got in there. It was just a little bit too late, unfortunately, though, and wasn't able to get that. But we do have, once again, red team grouping up here. They're going to take down their boss as well. We do have Shad about 40 points away from victory here now. 30 points in just a second here now. So it is looking like Shad could take round 1 here now and push themselves closer to moving on into the semifinals themselves here. We have Sviner going down here in just a moment. No snipes from either team. But we do have blue team once more converging on mid to defend that. Again, red team is going to be a little bit too late to the party to defend their members here now as they come into this now. And it does look like, guys, with this kill here that will go off, that blue team, Shad, is going to take round 1 against Poor Commoners and push themselves that much closer to the semifinals. Now, as we open up, let me just adjust the score real quickly here, guys. There we go. Alrighty, so we're going to be moving on into Legacy, the foe fighter once more. Shad, if they win round 2 here on Legacy, they will be pushing themselves into the semifinals of the winner's bracket here, the ESL Opening Cup. Whereas if PC wins this one, we'll be going into a very epic Game 3. At the same time, if Shad takes Game 2 here, that will put Poor Commoners down into the loser's bracket, where they will have to contend against such teams such as Super Squad and the recently eliminated Super YOLO Pug to push themselves back into the finals. Give me just a second, guys. I'm just trying to see here if Sean was able to rejoin. Apologies. There we go. Sean, just sort of alt-tabbing every few minutes there to see if he's come back, because we did have his power go out. Anyway, as soon as these players are ready, we'll get started here. Let me just tell them. And as well, guys, if you are watching this, sort of just tuning in on ESL.TV, and you're new to Guild Wars 2, be sure to check it out. It is free to play for this weekend only. If you would like to give it a shot, and you're just checking it out for yourself, be sure to go in there and check out Guild Wars 2 this weekend. I believe until the 25th, the end of that day, you will have to buy the game. It is only $50 now if you live in the United States. They did reduce the price on it. Buy it once, no sub fee. That's all you'll ever need to do to get into the high combat, intense action of PvP, which we are about to see in just a second. Round 2, Poor Commoners going up against Team Shad. 5 seconds. Poor Commoners going to be spawning in the Charth base over on the red team. Blue team, Team Shad will be spawning over here on the blue side, the Ascalonian base. Opening up our map. Let's check out the splits. And as we take a look here, blue team is not going to be sending anyone to Farpoint. Red team did, unfortunately for the red team, they didn't send any extra reinforcements there. We did have the warrior from the red team, Razak sort of tried to think about making his way over there, but did advise against it, as Genie and plenty of other members of the blue team were waiting there as well. But checking out the mid fight now, as that has gone into full swing. Both teams will be taking their close points fully. However, the warrior from the red team is going to come in there to contest that for just a minute. And we already have our first kill. Antares was taken down just like that with the time warp that went in there now. I'm going to jump on Kaya's point of view here now. It was under some heavy pressure from the thief on the red team here now, but we already have Antares was taken down. Commoner as well. Shad is on a roll here, knocking down members left and right. At the same time, Kaya is under some heavy pressure, as the Necromancer normally is. We do have the teammates trying to support him as best he can. Did manage to get that heal off, so for the time being, Kaya is safe. We're going to jump over to Shad's point of view to check in on this 1v1, and it looks like Shad Rongor is going to be winning this 1v1 against Razak, giving them control of that side point, which they already have, so we're just defending that side point here. We do have Antares rejoining the fight over here as we take a look at this, although Invictus Nyquist is getting dangerously low here, trying to hold on. He does have his heal, his withdrawal coming up in about a few milliseconds here. Gonna get that up here now. He will have a chance to save himself, pending no burst comes in here in the next few seconds. And there it goes. Invictus will save himself here. Save himself the trouble of going down here. Back to the middle fight itself, though. We had Genie just take down Curve the Ranger. The interrupt will go off, unfortunately, for him. Curve will not be able to get that full interrupt there. Genie will get the stomp. Over here, Misha Tinhat. Misha Thinhat, I do apologize for mispronouncing that name, will be taking that stomp off here now, and it does look like that Shad is going to be taking this point as soon as they finish off these stomps as well. Misha, hungry for points, will be pushing on for a 3-cap here, only about 2 minutes in here now, and Misha is moving in now for this 3-cap. Actually, it doesn't look like she's going to do so fully here, just going to get the decap and retreat. However, to note, guys, and pay attention to this, she did leave her portal there, which is going to do one of two things. It's going to force Razak to be a little bit paranoid about leaving this point and sort of keeping him out of team fights. At the same time, it's also going to if Curve and Razak leave the point, is going to allow him to port back in there and get that point for free. So at the very least, they have eliminated one member of PC from any team fights that will happen for the next minute until that portal expires. Speaking of team fights, as we go back in here, we do have this middle fight about to engage. Both of them very hesitant to jump into this fully here now, as we look in this lack of luck, as well as Razak, Antares, and Invictus at the moment are currently trying to take the members of Shad. Here comes Genie, though, with the stun coming off onto Antares at the moment, really pushing him into a corner. Antares overextending himself a little bit here, not in the best position in my eyes here now. Gonna be rolling in on him, he's still alive for the time being. Kaya was taken down, though. As we take a look at that, though, was not expecting that. He was rezzed up with the illusion of life, but unless a kill goes off here in favor of Shad in the next about 10 seconds, he is gonna go down once more here. We have Barry down, we have Antares about to go down once more. Invictus is under a little bit of pressure too if he jumps into these fights here now. It is looking like we could have the stomp roll off. Antares goes down, bringing Kaya back up. The illusion of life did expire, but they did manage to get Kaya back up now, and that is going to bring her back into the life and bring her back into the fight. As we move back into this now, Razak Rawl once more on the defensive from PC, unfortunately. Seems to be the last member here. We do have Barry working his way back in. Unfortunately, he is going to be forced to just fall back, because Shad has this point, and they are not giving it away anytime soon. As we take a look once more at the threshold over here, Razak, they're actually just going to let him sit there and bleed out, unfortunately. So he is going to have quite a bit of time before he does get spawned back and into the game for himself. Curve and Commoner Barry are currently waiting for more members of their team to group up. Now, just to open up a bit of a discussion topic with myself here, as we take a look, it's not in the best interest for PC, in my opinion, to really be sitting here now. Because of the fact that, again, we had this last game too. Shad was really just able to predict their motions with that, and they were able to use that against them. They need to sort of catch them off guard, go around the back point. Another option would be, because they're always grouping up here, to sort of send themselves around the back and go for that point instead. But it looks like they are going to be choosing to go middle. Note, though, they are sending that one warrior over there to Waterfall, so that is going to happen as well, that fight. But we do have a mid-fight engaged once more. We have one member of Antares actually, again, getting pushed into a corner here. Gonna get knocked out, unfortunately, here. Kaya as well taking a look, as Nyquist now is under pressure. Seems to be the primary target, at least for Kaya now. Kaya as well forced to pop her plague form, as she was under some heavy pressure here. The warrior from the red team actually didn't end up going to Waterfall, just to re-note that. He did end up coming to mid to support that as well. I think he wanted to get himself around and sort of yell surprise and jump in there with that, with the burst ability on his hammer there to get those AoEs off. But Commoner Barry, it looks like he could go down here in just a few seconds. Did manage to sneak himself away into his sanctuary here now, so he does have that for himself. Kai is going to work her way up here, work his way rather, up here to this point now, and just throw out some AoE damage, as you can currently see here. But Barry once more is down. They did get the res off, so they're still keeping themselves alive into this PC, as Razak Rawl is getting pretty low now, as we're going to see him go down, hope maybe in just a few minutes here. Conditions at the same time are ticking off pretty heavily on the blue team at the moment, and that might put Genie, Shad, and Kaya in some trouble here. Genie did manage to cleanse a lot of those with the usage of his Signet of Rage and the list of Signets. He's going to cleanse all those boons, give them all buffs for just a few seconds. Barry once more going down. We had Razak get killed just a few minutes ago, and Shad in about 20 points is going to be in range to rush the Lord if they want to do that now. Jumping onto Kaya's point of view once more, she is under heavy pressure, but again, within pretty close proximity to her teammates. There's not much of a risk of her going down. We had Invictus go down, Invictus Nyquist. And now PC once more is going to be put on the defensive as they retreat back to their home point. And as we jump back over to that home point, just to take a look-see here, Curve currently sitting steady. No other action going on at the map, although we do have what appears to be Razak sneaking his way over here to the waterfall. Does the Necromancer Kaya see him? And I believe he does. They're going to be working their way over here. We are going to have a bit of a 1v1 skirmish. We'll jump on Kaya's point of view as she is entering last here. Getting immobilized. Very nicely done by Razak. They're going to try to get his burst off and pulling off a pretty decent amount of damage there onto Kaya. At the same time, Razak needs to be careful with his cooldowns here. I believe he did just pop his Berserker stance, which is going to make him immune to Candies here now. Needs to utilize the last of the damage here. Popped into the Destron now. Kaya almost down, but here comes Misha Tinat to support this now, as they're going to be trying to hold on to this. We're going to be moving to take out Razak Raw now. Try to get that AoE stun off there through the hammer, but it was feared in the middle of that now. We also have Shad Rongor falling back as well. But this could prove to be a distraction here now, as Razak Rawl is down. But back over here, we do have PC pushing in with this as well, with the other 4 of their members now. At the same time, Shad just kind of accounting for everything here, had the portal down, and they were able to fall back to that and defend that very nicely. Antares Fallen Star now under pressure from Shad. They're going to be moving in to take him out. To note the scores real quick while this team fight is sort of going on here, 421 points for Shan at the moment, 100 and about 190 points for the red team, PC at the moment. If Shad takes this game in the next 70 points, they are going to move on into the semifinals now. We're taking a look at this now. We do have more members of PC down, and Therese Fallen Star has gone down here. I believe he could be in stealth. Yes, he is in stealth actually now. They might try to get him up. Unfortunately, it seems to be that he is a little too low now, and because of just all that AoE damage just being rolled constantly from Shad, he will not be able to survive. Invictus Nyquist, as we jump onto his point of view now, is on the run. Almost managed to take out Thin Hat there, and actually did take out Thin Hat. At the same time, unfortunately, did kill himself because of those confusion stacks on him. He did go down, and unfortunately for Misha, we did have Shad Rungor sort of available to come over there, res him up, and take out Nyquist there as well. But as we look onto Kaya once more here, guys, and guys, as we once more look at the scores, about 10 more points, and Shad will take it. I do believe we have the end of our second set here today, as Shad moves in. Team who gets carried hard will be moving on into the semifinals of the winners bracket. Unfortunately, for poor commoners, they will now be dropped down into the losers bracket. They are not out of this tournament by a long shot. They still have their chances in the losers bracket where they could come back and possibly, as I stated earlier, take on Team Shad or Team Maiden Meta or maybe Team Curse or any of our other teams in the grand finals. But that is going to be the end of our second set, guys. Just to note once more for those of you that did forget, we are going to be giving away $90 worth of gems. That is 9 $10 gem cards at the end of the stream. We have one more game for you today. It's going to be Team Curse going up against, I believe the team is Unity. Let me just check my board real quick here as I jump onto that. Yep, Team Curse going up against Team Unity. That'll be getting started in just a few moments. We just got to get all the team server passwords and everything for the teams, and as soon as we do, we'll get right back into it and get everything set up. So then, once again, this is the ESL Opener Cup. I'm Blue. Fortunately, Sean Buell's power is out, so he's not with us today. But we'll resume in about 5 to 10 minutes. Stick with us.